Hello, we're live. Hey, Hodies. Welcome to Critical Sass Live, the October edition. If you happen to be new in the live stream, or if you are new and watching the playback, Critical Sass Live is where I look at new makeup releases and I talk about them and we talk about them together and like, are they good or are they bad? Who knows? Like, that's what we're here to figure out. One of the ethos of my channel is to be critical of new makeup releases, hence Critical Sass, which is what we're doing here today. Wow, the way I don't even know how to intro on a live. Anyway, if you're new here, subscribe. This is what we do here. We like to not spend all of our money on things. Hello, hello. Oh my God, there are so many people in here. Hello, beret. Oh yes, the beret. Kelly has a beret. Everyone has a beret. So welcome. We're here. We're here. It was my birthday on Tuesday. Thank you all for all of your birthday wishes. And also the Hannah collab went up on Tuesday. What'd y'all think? Well, actually, I know what you all think because you guys left really lovely comments. So I appreciate that. So I know there's a lot of new faces. I don't know if you're going to be here on the live stream, but if you are, welcome, welcome. Oh, thank you. Okay. I don't know that this might be not a very long Critical Sass. I was pulling images for this today and I was like, what's going on? And it felt like not much was going on. Thank you. Still thinking about my speeches. Those were, I mean, some of you who are probably better actors than me knew that they were poorly improvised, but I did improvise them. I thought about writing them and then I was like, I just a step too far. That opening intro thing took me like 2 hours to do. And I was like, I've done more than I've ever done on a video on this. I think that we will let the cheese stand alone. All right, let's get into it. Starting with not really a banger, but well, I hope it's on the right one. Okay. This is the new Viseart Entendu palette in Le Marais. In my beret. I did not put on the beret because we were talking about Viseart. But it feels like I put on the beret because we're talking about Viseart, but that's not really the case. So, this is inspired by the maze of Le Marais. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. The charming cobbled streets and vibrant cafe courtyards. So there's warm woody browns, wine-rich mattes, and golden coppers with matte and metallic duochrome shimmer finishes. Okay, so I think objectively, I can look at this and say, that is pretty. But is it unique? No, it's not unique in like color story. It's not unique in the way it's being presented to us. So I was watching Imperfectly M's New Makeup Nonsense Bingo, and when I hear maze, I'm assuming that this might be a maze that has like hedges. That doesn't look like that. That looks really sad. It's like giving me sad vibes. Like I'm not getting like happy vibes from it. And it's like I don't know that like because I get happy vibes from like dark colors and grungy colors and like mysterious colors too, but like I'm getting like just sad. I'm feeling sad about it. I'm looking at it. Although the duochrome, I feel like we don't see those often from Viseart or at all from Viseart. And if we did, it was in that larger they don't do it anymore, but the Grand Pro 2, which would had like a bunch of shimmers in it. And I think they sell like duochrome singles, but I'm not really sure. Sorry. I'm what is that called? Monitoring? I have to approve comments if someone swears in them. That's all that happened. And I was like, oh, someone already needs approved. I'm sure I could fix that somehow, but I'm not clever enough to figure that out. But yeah, I'm just not like I see the purple, beautiful purple. I see the red next to the purple. I basically see like the purple, the red, and then the last column. And I'm like, that's a palette I would use. But the rest of it can really miss me. Kelly says, I actually like Viseart and I'm asleep. Amy, I don't know why this one's tempting you so hard. I would say this. If you ever are inspired by a Viseart color story and you haven't tried Viseart, I think personally, I do like Viseart eyeshadows. Their shimmers and satins are like not exciting, but they perform beautifully. And so if you're a person who's looking for like performance out of your makeup, then I think Viseart's like a good way to go. But if you're looking for something like exciting and like pushing things forward, then like Viseart's not where it's at. Like, you know, it started as a makeup artist brand and it performs like it's makeup artistry makeup. But it's like you're not going to get like very, very exciting stuff from it. But it's going to do what you want it to do. The purple is working overtime to try to make things look interesting. The Too Faced, it reminds you of the Too Faced PB&J palette. I can't recall that, but like I can kind of in the back of my brain, but I cannot recall it. It's almost sexy than Bam Barney Purple. Yeah, it's just not Viseart's best. The last time Viseart released like a smaller palette like this that I was interested in was that dark blue one. I think it was last year's holiday release, and I still think about it sometimes. I never bought it. I still think they sell it. I don't think it was like a limited edition thing, but if I was going to buy one of the small ones again, it'd be that one. But I use Viseart shadows like all the time. It's like, they're some of my favorite. I use that. I have the Grand Pro one, but I use it to like make my own palettes with. I love it. Viseart does have great sales. Minsu pointed out they do have great sales on their website. Like sometimes like 40 to 50% off. So if you keep your eyes open, sometimes Viseart's not as expensive as you think it is. All right, let's move along. Let's see what else we have to offer here. Okay, yeah, let's talk about this. So, the Balm.com is getting a new limited edition holiday flavor. It is Swiss Miss. It's a hydrating lip balm packed with antioxidants and natural emollients to nourish dry, chafed skin. Hints of cocoa, vanilla, and sugar strands with a sheer chestnut brown tint. I love chocolate. First of all, I love chocolate and I love Swiss Miss. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted that I have a problem with Swiss Miss. But if there is one thing that I think smells so utterly rotted and disgusting, it is chocolate scented things. Candles. Eyeshadow palettes. I'm looking at you, Too Faced. That fake cocoa smell is like one of the most repulsive scents in my brain. Like it triggers some kind of, I don't know, trauma response. It's like you do not like that. So this repulses me. And I know that like this is more of a petroleum based like kind of lip balm. And so then it's like thick and smells like chocolate. It ain't for me. It is not for me. Now, I've never been excited about a Balm.com. I've never tried a balm. I've tried Glossier before, but like the Balm.com was not the fantasy. I was like, I want to try the makeup, and the joke was on me because I tried the makeup and I was like, this really isn't makeup. I will say, I do like the Glossier skin tint, but that seems like an unpopular opinion for most makeup YouTubers. But I think it has more coverage than people say it does. I don't know. Maybe I just put more on than everyone else did. Ooh, hi, Danny. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. I'm going to catch up on... I'm just catching up on some comments. I would have preferred them bringing back the speculoos spiced cookie scent. Yeah. I imagine that would just smell sugary, sweet, because speculoos is so good. Trader Joe's cookie butter. Speculoos. The crunchy one. It has to be the crunchy one. If you prefer the smooth one, I don't know what's wrong with you. You need some texture in there. Because, first and foremost, I'm not putting the cookie butter on anything other than like right into my mouth. So I need the texture of the crunch because I'm not putting it on anything. Fake chocolate and generic vanilla will give me a headache. Yeah, me too. I when they finally get to Sephora next year, it's going to save me so much money from buying crap I generally can't try first. Though I don't really give a fuck about almost anything Glossier is doing anything more. Yeah, wondering if that when they get into Sephora, if there's going to be a push for them to release more, because if I recall correctly, when I was working at Sephora, it got talked about sometimes that whenever Sephora has brands in it, like there's an expectation that you are like doing so many releases a year. So perhaps Glossier will get more interesting because they'll be like forced to innovate more than they did on their initial, they did a lot on their initial launch. And then since then it's been like crickets. Although a lot of people like their skincare, which I don't understand. I just eat cookie butter with a spoon and that's it. Period. Squelette. Cool. Cookie butter is like speculoos cookies are like just like, I don't know, a little bit of a spicy cookie. Not like spicy, it's hot, but like spiced. And then they basically put it in a blender until it turns into goop. And then you spread it on things. Or just put it in your mouth, which is what I do. It's great. And I do think it was necessary for us to take the time to talk about cookie butter because we were talking about it and it's a peak snack. It's like one of the best snacks in the world. Glossier is slowly dying. I do think this is, Kelly, I think this is their last ditch effort too. Seems like it. Because they held off on retail so long, like going into a retail space. So I wonder if they can even afford to have bays in the stores. That's also a thing. Like if it's not in front of people, then what's it going to mean to anybody? I feel like I haven't lived having never tried cookie butter. Oh, yes. Yes, it's just a speculoos spread. So, no, okay. We're going to continue talking about cookie butter. Trader Joe's like popularized speculoos spread in America, and they call it cookie butter, which is always what I've heard it referred to as. But yeah, there's off-brand speculoos spreads just for everyone who is in America that is doesn't know that. Know that, but the other ones aren't as good. They're not as thick. They're like a little bit thinner. I think for me, what it means is that Sephora $25 minimum shipping over that Glossier minimum shipping. That's true. Okay, first, I don't like the ratio of people in my audience that haven't tried cookie butter. So that's your assignment. By the next Critical Sass, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna talk about speculoos spread / cookie butter. In America, I recommend the Trader Joe's one, but you can get it whatever you want. And so we're gonna come back and we're gonna start next Critical Sass with a speculoos conversation. Okay, okay. I know this is a makeup channel, but I like a snack. Okay, let's move on. All right. So this is from Oden's Eye. This is their holiday collection. There's the Merry Christmas palette and the Christmas Eve palette. Okay, I have thoughts about this. The outside cover is beautiful. It's all beautiful. I think this is beautiful. Tippy top to toe. That toady toe? Tippy bitty bottom. I don't know. Is there a word for that? Let me know. I would never buy these. Even though I objectively think that these are beautiful. I think that these are beautiful. I think the color stories in both of them are stunning. But what you've done is you've marketed them as literal Christmas palettes. I almost just spilled my drink. And that means to me that if I had that in my collection, I would only use it in December. And I know that's crazy. I know that's like a stupid thing to think, but I know how my brain works. I see a Christmas tree and I'm like, this isn't for now. Even though the color stories in them are nuanced enough to be used at any time of the year, I wouldn't touch these unless it was December. And then what good is that to me as a consumer? Because if we're talking to myself, I saw these and I was like, those are really pretty. Those color stories are really pretty. Specifically, I think it's the Christmas Eve one or the one that's blue. The one that the box is blue. I really think that one's really pretty. I like both, but the one in the blue box. And I was just like, wow, maybe I might want that. And I was like, no, it's literally a Christmas palette. You lost me at Christmas palette. You called it the Christmas and Christmas Eve palette. Not only that, oh, I'm gonna take a swing here. So everyone, I feel like everyone's gonna be like social justice warrior police, but like feels a little bit exclusionary. And I'm not saying that they did that intentionally, but like sometimes we don't think about things like that. It's like just make it a holiday palette. Don't put Christmas on it. Don't put trees on it. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be that. And also, I think these color stories would have benefited, I think, personally for me, it would have been beneficial to just like not have the Christmas attached to it. Just make these your holiday releases and like make them bomb. And I think they did that, but then they lost me and how they chose to market it. And that's me. But now I'm going to get caught up in the comment section because I feel like everyone's going to be mad at me, but I'm going to try. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, I want this Christmas Eve palette. I don't want to want it. Hello. Welcome. It's okay. You can come at any time. They're pretty on the outside, but it doesn't match the inside. I agree. Like the color stories don't really match what's going on the outside. It is a pretty piece of art, but it's not makeup. I want my home. I'm with ya. I think some of the shade names have weird misspellings. That seems to be a common thing that's happening these days is that people are not spelling their shade names right. Didn't Natasha Denona just do that? I forget what the shade name was, but I think that one of her recent palettes had one of those. Thank you. The glow. I have thoughts about my glow today, but it's not a conversation for today. Aurora Borealis would have been a great winter theme. Yes, I agree. I agree with you, not to defend them, but I think Europe Christmas is maybe not seen as religious as it is in the US. I would say that most people in the US don't associate Christmas with religion. I think it's like kind of removed things, but I know that there are people who are of other religions that would view it as a religious thing and feel excluded. So I don't know how to navigate that. Like I understand what you mean, but it's hard to always consider everything, and I understand that. So it's not like I'm really coming for their necks. It's just like a consideration. I thought the same thing about renaming it a general, just like holiday release. Ugh, the spelling. Hello, Jean. Welcome. Okay, let's move along. Okay. So Natasha Denona is releasing the baby gold. Someone mentioned one of these earlier and that really cracked me up. So, the baby gold eyeshadow palette. So it has three existing words. It has three existing shades from the gold palette. $19. So it's a dark brown matte, a cool yellow beige matte, and a warm gold. Now, someone or a couple of people tagged me in this and they were like, it doesn't even represent the gold palette. I think what's important to remember, if you had to isolate the gold palette down to 3 shades, I don't think that this is wrong because it is mostly gold. Now, there are like 3 greens in it, and there's like a teal, a sparkly green, and then like a gold green, but it's mostly gold. It's like grungy gold. So I do think that they did the brand did a good job. Like if you had to pick 3 shades to make it something. Now I'm sure that a lot of you probably would have liked to see Sparks or Kava, but I see that, and having worked at Sephora, I could see so many people just being like, these are the 3 eyeshadows that I wear. It's the only ones. It's sometimes you have to keep the consumer market outside of what we do here on YouTube or what we view here on YouTube in mind, because that seems really wearable, and I get it. I kind of get it. I'm not saying that I would buy this, but I understand where the brand is coming from, and I could see so many people at work shopping at Sephora for the holidays and being like, oh, I'll just grab that for so and so. And it's like you can kind of do it confidently because it's like an unassuming color story. But yeah, it's not as exciting as the full size gold palette. But how can you make anything that's only 3 eyeshadows that exciting? I just don't think it can be done. Is it the most exciting thing? No. But I think that I think that is, I don't think that's wrong, to be quite honest. This is my Bieber who wants this. Natasha, stop, enough. Silent Night. What is the purpose of this thing? I don't think it's wrong, but is it right? No, I agree. I wouldn't buy this. I'm not saying that it is the best thing that has ever come out. Natasha's palettes are getting smaller and smaller with every release. Yeah. It's a good thing I already have a dozen more exciting Pat McGrath goals. Listen, don't come for me. Not on my live. I wish we had the X Factor buttons. That would be really fun if we can make this like just a bunch of X's come up on the screen. Perhaps they should have made a gold palettes blue trio and released that as well. Neutral and color lovers appeased. Or maybe they should just not have discontinued the gold palette. I remember hearing through other people that they heard, this is like really a game of telephone, that there's going to be like a new edition of the gold palette at some point. I'm curious as to what that would look like, but I'm happy to have the gold palette. So if you missed out, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you missed out on one of the... Oh, okay. I don't know why I had the audacity to pull a drugstore brand into the mix, but I saw it and I was just like, what? Okay, so Flower Beauty is doing an ET palette. For those of you who don't know, that's a Drew Barrymore brand. Drew Barrymore is the youngest child in ET. Unpopular opinion, don't like ET. Scary and long. But I did see it when I was young. So maybe that's why I think that. All right, so it includes 8 Celestial Shimmers and Stellar Metallics for $20. Okay. I feel like I've heard other people like trash this. And I'm not saying it's, again, like Natasha Denona. Not saying it's the best. But I have heard good things about Flower Beauty's shimmers, at least in the jungle shimmers. And that might be a different formula than this. I don't see anything wrong with like a topper shimmer palette. And I know it's not everyone's zhuzh, but it's kind of like where I'm at. Lauren May Beauty left this space and I like hopped right in and I was like, all shimmers all the time. It's me. Now, I do think we're lacking depth. There's like the one deep purple shade and like the one mid-tone blue and all of it looks like toppers from there on. So I could do with like variety, and I'm assuming that all of the ones that look like they're whitish are probably like shifts to some other shade. So for me, of course I don't need this. Of course I don't need this because I have so many Cleona shades on top of that Pat McGrath shades, on top of that Natasha Denona shades. So I'm good. Like I don't need this. But at a drugstore price point, something like this, if the formula is good, I could see like being a good buy for someone who can't afford Cleona or Pat McGrath or like those really expensive like shiny shimmer shades. And I know that there are other shades at the drugstore that are like sparkly and gorgeous that I have heard through the grapevine. I'm not really well versed in drugstore makeup, but I don't think this is as bad, but like it also doesn't scream ET, I guess. But unless you're thinking celestial, he lives in space, right? So maybe. Is ET gendered? They live in space. Don't want to offend ET because I don't want him showing up in my house. Sorry, them showing up in my house with their glowy finger. I'm scared. The use of the red X's. You guys are killing me. Oh, goodness. The Golden Metropolis are always discontinued until Black Friday comes along, and then they release a BOGO deal. Good to know for those of you. But I think a lot of people don't want the Metropolis palette, which I think is like a big part of that. I like the Metropolis palette. Now this itty bitty had a blackest black matte and a silver shimmer, perhaps a taupe. Yes, please. I don't buy from Drew Barrymore. Did Drew Barrymore do something? It's like how you're supposed to write a news story no higher than 8th grade reading level, or at least that's what I try to tell myself when I see stuff I hate at Sephora. Flower Beauty has some really nice products in my opinion. I just forgot they released new stuff because we're stuck with the same stuff in the UK. That makes sense. Why can't I scroll? Oh, just old over here. Drew did the same packaging for the Charlie's Angels. I don't. This CD presentation, I guess maybe it's like we're visiting the movies. They're DVDs. It's shaped like a Blu-ray. Blu-rays are circular, right? I've never seen a Blu-ray. We're like in a post-physical media world. So I have no idea what physical media would look like if it was new. She won't speak on women's rights. Fair enough. Understood. The Jungle Lights is a poor man's midnight sun, and I stand by this comment. Huh. That feels true. A VHS style vibe would have been so cool, like Grady Hendrix novel stylings. Nightmares. I'm glad that everyone else had the same response to E.T. Now I'm imagining rectangular Blu-rays. I don't know what they look like. I just uneducated. Okay, oh, we'll come back to that. Oh, okay. It's Give Beauty, right? Or you're supposed to like make a sneezing noise when you see this brand. Anyway, Give Beauty of, what is her name? Gwen Stefani fame. I was like, I know who that is. These are the IC. Why is this? I'm so sick. Okay, a quick aside. I'm sure it won't be quick. Why does everything have to have a title, a subtitle, and then another title? It's just makeup. It's just one word. You get one word. My glitters. Oh, my glitters. That's better than this. Anyway, these are the IC and Sparkle Clean Multi-Dimensional Glitter Eyeshadow. Okay. Who cares? The clean beauty marketing, I think specifically in this brand, is like wild to me. It's like you're really doing a hard sell. I don't know how this brand is selling. I'm assuming that it's not flying off the shelves. But the other thing is, I've heard that the stuff from this brand is okay, pretty good, decent. So there are 3 colors. They're described as an ultra sparkly loose glitter eyeshadow loaded with multifaceted crystal pigments. I mean, so many brands have something like this, so I imagine that you don't need it from Give Beauty. There was other images. I didn't like screenshot all of them. I just don't think it's sparkly enough. Now, if it was like really sparkly, there's like, I wouldn't say no. But I feel like you could find something alternative to this at a lower price point. Or if you're willing to pay this much, from a more interesting brand. Excuse me. The Diet Dr. Pepper has revisited. I'm waiting for something from Give, but I feel like I'm having the same thing from like when I had House Labs. I wanted it to be one thing and it just never was going to be that thing. And I just think that's going to be the same thing for this brand. I have a lot of feelings about Gwen Stefani, complicated feelings about Gwen Stefani. I like want to like something that she's doing right now, but I just don't like anything that she's doing. But I used to really like the things that she was doing, and then that's where we are. So I love the idea of a sparkly thing, and I do appreciate that it's not one of the ones that you have to like press down with those things. It's just glitter, loose, sparkly eyeshadow, which I can get behind. Yeah, like a sneezing noise, like or something like that. This reminds me of that TikTok of a girl using an iPod shovel as a hair clip and didn't know what it was. It's a better use for an iPod Nano, I would say. What is her name? The Scandalous. I was gonna say, I got called out here. You were singing "What You Waiting For" the other day. I did sing a Gwen Stefani in my Instagram stories the other day. We do a funny video on all the ridiculous product names out there. It would be 3 hours long, and I already do long videos. The more words, the better. I bet they have to put more words in because of like copyright stuff. That'd be my guess, because it's like, no, there was a brand that 17 years ago they did that, and then there's like a copyright on it. That would be my guess. if I had to like make an educated guess at this point. I wonder if SEO is seeped into the cosmetic names as the number of beauty brands gets exponentially bigger and dumber. I will say yes, because doing SEO for YouTube whenever you're like putting in brand names, it's helpful. Because if someone's looking for something specific, then it like boosts you. I have complicated feelings about Gwen Stefani. Yes, mood. I just saw a video of swatches with the ET palette. It's kind of giving Isabella. That's not a bad thing. I mean, for me, some people don't like that. Do you not like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollis? The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for Superstar Youth Glow. Another one. Hello, Mary. The Victoria Beckham lid lusters are what I would spend the money on, and apparently the Charlotte Smoke Show Shadow, despite the packaging. What is the Smoke Show shadows from Charlotte Tilbury? I don't know that I know what those. I know the pops. There's a couple different pops. There was a great deep dive on Gwen Stefani like 4 years ago that really helped explain why it's so tough to be a diehard fan of her. She's just an Orange County Republican, basically. Yikes. Okay, I'm done. Hello. Yeah. The read of being an OC Republican explains her makeup taste. We need to move on. We're getting too political in the house. I actually don't mind that. Pop off, sis. Okay. I'm going to be brave and bold and say something controversial here. I think what Manny has done this holiday is the most exciting thing that I have seen for a holiday release in years. Many years. Like since 2016 years. I have thoughts about it, but I watched his video like in introducing this palette. I just want to talk about the palette. I don't really care about the other things in the collection. And I was like, oh my God, that is like a really good idea. And I feel positively about this for a number of reasons. I'm going to go through them with you. I love that I'm not ending up with 12 minis or like one full-size thing and a packet of this and another thing of that. I think that, so I buy a thing, it ends up being one thing. And I get the excitement of like if any of you spoil what this color story is, I'll be kind of mad. I'm not going to buy this, but I don't know. And I'm like, I still want to find out through the eyes of someone else. But in my brain, I think it would be like really fun to like open an eyeshadow every day over the course of a couple days and then have an eyeshadow palette then. Not only that, they're magnetized, which means they're removable, which means if I bought this palette, I could use all of these as singles, which is a major, major plus to me. I think Manny killed it, hit it out of the park. I think this was like a genius thing to do. I think of an advent calendar, this was like the smartest way to do it, at least for me. I only would want one thing at the end of an advent calendar because if you give me minis, I'm not going to use them. If you give me a sample packet, I'm not going to use it. I love that. I think that's smart. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to disagree with me in the comments. But it's okay. We can disagree. I just think this was smart. I do have hesitations, though, about not knowing the color story. But I think if I were to purchase it, I would want to go in knowing as little as possible. I know that 3 shades have been revealed through Manny because he was like, I want you to enjoy it and figure it out, like get to know it. So like, I'm sure it's not going to be like the wildest of color stories or even the most exciting of color stories, but I think it would be exciting to have open it up and have a product at the end. I want the pink hair braces furry bra top Gwen Stefani. That's what we all want. I stand by Kylie Minogue owning the name Kylie over Kylie, the only brands owning words. What? I agree. I love this concept, but I didn't love the full color story revealed. I guess that's the biggest fear. The actual color story. Have I tried other things? I haven't tried anything from Lunar Beauty. I hear generally positive, which is good. I'm not, there was one color story that he did. It was like limited edition. And by the time that I was like, I might want that, the time had passed. It was gone. I've also heard good things about his blushes, but I wish he would do single packaged blushes because I think he's released some really cool blush colors that I would be into. But I'm not buying a blush palette. I'm guessing that blush palettes are cheaper to make. Because it's all in one packaging. I think that's going to be cheaper. I love this concept, but I won't be buying it. Okay. I've never been a fan of Manny or his brand, but yeah, I just think this was really smart. I kind of wish there were different variations of the color story. The fact that it's magnetized means you get to make what you want after it, even if you don't love the color story, which I think, yes, that's what I was thinking of it. I think he proved my fears with this, right? Because it was a fun idea, but I didn't like the palette. So now I would own except SSME that I wouldn't use. I thought the color story was pretty and I like their formula. I like their formula. I don't really know too much about the brand. I heard good things about the lip oils too. So yeah, I think that if Manny could manage to do something like the Nearly Natural palette from Glaminatrix, where it's like nudes but like interesting, maybe that would be a thing I'd buy from Lunar Beauty. I would also buy the Nearly Natural palette from Glaminatrix, but as I said, Glaminatrix has yet to have the palette because I know they're gonna do it. Like I know that one day Glaminatrix will do it, but as like there's gonna be like the best that Manny could do, and I'm always interested in trying formulas and stuff, but yeah, Manny has yet to like really get me hooked. Wait, idea. When Hannah did the advent calendar of her own makeup, do that, but this concept with a friend, building a palette day by day. There you go. We solved the problem. Manny, here's a volleyball reference that I'm not going to get right. Manny did the bump, and so Amy just spiked it down for us. His brand's lashes are the tits, not going to lie. Love that. Okay, let's move along. I was like, there's not much to talk about today. And then I was like, we're just kikiing. We're just having a good time. So MAC Cosmetics is doing a collaboration with Black Panther. I pulled this and then I found better picks later, but then I was like too lazy to pull the better picks. But it's going to include 4 shades of lipstick at $23 each. Did MAC lipsticks get more? Did MAC lipsticks get more? Everything's more expensive. Eyeshadow, $39. The Love Me Liquid Lip Color, $28. Lip gloss in translucent gold. Waterproof liner. Cool eye pencil. Eye brush. Face brush. Extra Dimension Skin Finish. Liquid powder highlighter. Okay. $44 in warm gold with rose fleck, chocolate bronze, and gold flecks in a makeup bag. I think that they did a very good job as far as my eye can see. The eyeshadow palette isn't. Let me first and foremost say I have not seen the new one. I have seen the old one, Black Panther movie. So I can't really speak to like the color story, but the color story is pretty. It's like deep, really pretty colors. And thank God they made the highlighter, if they were just going to do one, make it better suited for deeper complexions. So they paying attention. Mac, OMG, why do I like this? I feel this. I kind of hate this. It's polarizing in the chat. I don't like the color story of the palette. I love that we're kinky. No, I thought I was going to bed, but you know what? You're here. We love to see it. I did think that the highlighter impressions, I saw it earlier and I was like, is that a transformer? But that's just me not knowing things. I can do the vibes of the purples, otherwise add to cart. No shame. This is really cute. I think so. Yeah. I think that MAC did a good job. It's decidedly not for me, but I had this moment of time where I was like really farting on MAC. I just like was not interested in MAC, but they're swinging around. I'm like getting more interested in things. And I realized that because I'm just so much more like a complexion based person. I like don't really care about their eyeshadows. I have enough eyeshadows, but I would be interested to try their skin tint. I don't know. I'm just interested. I also thought it was a transformer. I too thought it was a transformer. I think that if you know what it is, then you know. But perhaps if you don't know, then it's a transformer. All right, let's talk about this. I feel like that I'm going to have an unpopular opinion on this as well. This is, I think, confirmed. I'm going to say confirmed. Trend Mood posted about it. And as we know, Trend Mood tends to post about things once it's like going to happen. So this is the Retro Glam palette. It includes 15 shades, matte and shimmery finishes. Okay, so I'm into this. Like, I'm into it. Now, some people are like, it looks dusty. I'm going to go ahead and say the mini retro palette looks kind of dusty. And I love it. This looks more like the mini retro palette than the retro palette that was released. And so this is the Retro Glam Cool Toned. It has like the pinks in it. It has the greens in it. It has the nude shades in it, or like the taupey shades in it. I'm into it. I will say this. It doesn't look like it's going to be for all skin tones because of the nature of the shades. So that's like a downside to it. But I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. I also think the cover is kind of cool. It reminds me of a mall, like the front cover, if that's what it actually looks like. I think it's pretty. I would potentially buy this. And I'm going to say I would potentially buy this, but I also have a gift card for Sephora right now, and I also have some credit card rewards at Sephora, so that would bring it like out of pocket much lower for me. So that would be what I would do if I were to buy it, if my gift card and my credit card rewards last that long, if I don't find something else in the meantime. But as of right now, I've been browsing Sephora and haven't found anything. So potentially this. The thing is, I would like this, and I think I would use it quite a bit, and I would get a lot of use out of it, and I would enjoy it. But it's like, does it spark like what Isabella sparked when I first saw it? No. It's like not the same level of excitement. It's like, I like Natasha Denona. I like this color story. I like the smaller version of this color story. So I don't see why I wouldn't have a good time with the larger color story. So that's where I'm like landing on this. But I'm gonna read the comments, see what the chat's saying. All right. Okay, Give It To Me. It's releasing November 11th at Sephora, confirmed by a friend who works there. They have it. Okay, they have it in the back room. It's always good to have a friend at Sephora. I don't like this. I can't see those greens looking nice on me, but I do like some of the shades, but not all. It's very cute. Why does the Retrogram look like what the Zendo should have been? I think it looks like what the Retro should have been, but they like kind of smashed something concepts together. Okay, I've been seeing people sharing it on Instagram, really shit talking this. I feel like I'm home and everyone also wants this. It does look very white. I will say, I do agree with you, Em. I'm scared it's too late. Yeah, we'll have to see more people use it, I think, to be able to determine whether all shades of people will be able to use it. So rude to not release it during the VIB sale. I agree. I agree with that. Because normally brands will like release something right before the sale. As an interior designer, it's giving 1950s bathroom. I don't think that's offensive. I mean, I feel like bathrooms used to be extravagant places to be. Now it's like, please get me out of here. Even the one in my home. I love that the retro bathroom. I love that in a retro bathroom. So we're all on the same page here. This is a big, for me. Yeah, I'm into it. Okay. I feel less alone. I feel seen. I feel less scared. Okay, this one was interesting just because of the name of it. This is from City Color. Is this the last one? No, it's not. I was like, how many do I have left? Okay. This is the Grunge palette. Here's the quote. Here's the pool. Get the 90s grunge aesthetic with our Grunge palette with 18 shades of rich pigment that blend perfectly into your makeup looks. That blend perfectly your makeup's looks will be phenomenal. I can't read. Our grunge palette was inspired by the lifestyle and movement of the grunge era in the late 90s, with muted everyday tones to cranberries and pure abyss. Our grunge palette will give you the pure nostalgia of time. I think that was also written poorly. I don't think that was just me. I was like, these words don't make sense together. This is $14. Okay. I wanted to talk about this because I love a grungy color story. I know many of you love a grungy color story. It's like missing like zhuzh. It's like, these are all certainly grungy colors, but like, what are you trying to tell me? What's the story? What am I supposed to do with it? And there's only a handful, there's like only a couple shimmers. I think it is mostly mattes in it. So it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? Now, I mean, obviously you can make beautiful eye looks with just matte shades, but it's like lacking something. And it's like, I like the idea of it, like to like release the grunge palette, but like, I think also by like calling it that, it's like you have a lot to live up to. And I don't think that they like landed perfectly. It's like nice if you don't have like grungy colors and you wanted to try it. I think for $14, this many eyeshadows is like good. I mean, assuming the quality is good, but I cannot speak to the quality of these, but I'm just saying that it's doing something, but it's like not just like hitting the nail on the head. Is it grunge? Yes, but this could have been a 9-pan palette and been more successful for me. I agree with that. Did it really say late 90s? It sure did, which I was like, that is wrong. Children. It's the one finisher that's throwing it off. I agree. Yeah, it's like they're all too similar in depth. That could also be a problem. It's giving fall. It's giving fall, y'all. An attempt was made. Video idea, creating my dream grunge palette. I feel like I've done that. It wasn't called the grunge palette, but when I redid the nocturnal palette, I was like, this is the palette that I would use all the time. I also think one of the ones I made for fall, you know, I love just pulling things out of my drawer on a live. Like this would be this is my dream grunge palette. Oh, green and mustard yellow. That's my dream grunge palette. It's like, it's the opposite. So Natasha Denona was like, no depth. This one was like, too much depth? Is that what we're thinking? Is that the consensus that we're drawing here? Christine says, I don't think I remember wearing colors like that. I just had a lot of eyeliner and we used to warm up with lighting a lighter. Yes, I do recall people doing that. Thank you. My palette is available to buy for... No, it's priceless. It's mine. But probably, if I were to ever do people keep asking me what I would do for a collab. If I had to do an eyeshadow palette, it would probably be something like that one I just showed you that I made. All right. This is from Notoriously Morbid Cosmetics. This is their Boohoo palette. Boohoo. I love that. I don't know how much this is. It's not listed here. So sorry I can't give you the pricing. I love the cover art on it and I love the name of it. It makes me tee-hee-hee. I see the Boohoo palette and I'm like, that's fun. I like it. Now, when we look at the cover art, it seems like we have some like goth or like scene girl with pastel green hair crying about something. Who knows why? She was just broken up with. Her husband is cheating on her. We don't know her story. And then you open it up and it's like kind of light. And it's a lot of shimmers. And I would guess, I don't know if any of you have tried Notoriously Morbid's formula, but if you have, I would like to know. This is one of those things where I see it and I'm like, if you don't have anything like that and you want to try something like that, here's a place to get it all in one place and get to try stuff like that, and then maybe elevate your game later, or like start buying singles that you don't already have later. That's what it gives to me. Like, I wouldn't need this. Like, I probably could dupe this out with my collection pretty easily, but I like it in theory. It's like, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think what happened was smaller brands, indie brands, were like killing the game with like interesting textures and multi-chromes. And so that was 2 years ago. And we were like, multi-chromes. We were, all of us. We were like, indie brands are doing multi-chromes. We love the multi-chromes. It has just now like gotten to the point really where like major brands are like, okay, so we'll just like throw a multi-chrome in and that will be exciting for you. And like it's like they're presenting it as a question to us, like, you like this? And we're like, not quite. You're like onto something. And so like I see something like this and it's just like, you like shifty shades. And that's what we know that about you, and this is what we're gonna do. But to me, it's not a need, but it's cute. It's pretty. Oh, right. Why can't I wear? Wow. There must be more people than usual, which is great. Hello, everyone here. I love all this conversation. Now I'm like scrolling. I'm like, I don't even know where I left off. The Sublime Mothership is not the response to everything. The people in the grunge movement deny the term grunge. Milk Cosmetics Gemini was another grunge zenith. Do your Cleona shades fit into your large Viseart palette? Because they fit into my smaller Viseart palette. I have not put my Viseart, I've not tried to put them in that big one. Mostly because, I don't know, I feel like once a shimmer gets into that palette, it's game over. It's gonna be too much. I love the pastels. Give me this. Okay, good response. Sad Girl Sparkly palette. It is that. A companion palette. I agree. If this is cheaper than the Janessa Myricks Lightwork 4, I could see myself getting it. I would bet money that this is cheaper than that, but I don't know. Can't speak to it. If the packaging were black and not cream, I think it would make a big difference. Yes. Oh, there's that one ABH palette, the metal rose metallic, whatever their newest one is. I think I like the way that looks because of the smoky cardboard around the shadows. And I think that's the only reason I like it. I bet if I remove those shades from it, I wouldn't like the palette as much as I think I do. I had a flashback to Urban Decay's Stone Vibes palette when you described that. Can I get a 300 cigarettes collab? I don't know what that is. Yeah, rose metals. Notoriously Morbid, $75. The Danessa Myricks one's like $129, $130. Is that right? I don't really know. I saw the Danessa Myricks thing and it like what came in here went out the other because it's just like not for me. That's like it falls in the same thing as this. It's like I think it's pretty, I think it's nice, and I think a lot of people would get a lot of use out of it, but like not me. Christina Ricci in a palette. That's a concept. Lightwork 4 is $125. So you would save about $50 going this route. Whoever said that. I can't scroll back up. Hello, Sarah Rose from EHLP. Thank you for coming over here. Say hello. The backdrop of the palette does make such a huge difference. If it matches the colors of the shadows, I become uninspired. Okay. There we go. We've solved the case. Oh, yeah, we're finishing on this. Okay. I feel like I blinked and I missed this, and it was something that I was looking for, and now I know that, like, I know that I knew when it was happening. I know that they said that it was, like, the palette that everyone was looking forward to, like, one of their biggest launches. They said that. So this is the Minka palette, previously discussed on my channel on a Critical Sass live as a sneak peek, and you could see, like 4 to 6 of the shades. It has now been released, and it is just as beautiful as I thought it would be. Now, here's the other side of things. They're doing pre-orders. The pre-orders were I think they said they would start getting shipped in January or December. Either way, what's happened is I missed it and I'm not going to want it in a month, or I'm not going to want it. I don't want to buy it now and wait for it. And so they kind of lost me personally, but I think this is really pretty. I am very keen on trying Adept. I like their color stories. I think they're doing, I like that they always do like, here's our really beautiful special shimmers and then 2 mattes. And I always love, the mattes are always the curveball. Not so much in this one, but like one time they did this like really grungy thing and it was like a hot pink in it. And I was like, why is that there? Why is that the matte that's in this palette? But I think, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, Hello Nurse. I knew that she had this palette. I hand mix and press too. Yeah, I heard it sold out super fast. If this didn't have 2 to 3 golds, I'd have broken my no buy immediately. You bought it and you are, okay, OMG, so I bought it and I am 25% underwhelmed, but individually I will love it all. In the magnetics, I can mix and match them. I do love that they do that too. It's a big pro. Kelly has 3 of their palettes. Adept always sends it early, so I would go for it. The pre-orders are open till tomorrow. Another thing is, my budget's gone for the month. Not completely gone, but I don't have enough for it. Because I decided to buy a single eyeshadow from Charlotte Tilbury. Like a fool. Not like a fool. I actually have been enjoying it, but we'll talk about that at another time. Yeah, pre-orders are a tough sell. Sadly, Adept is not hand mixed nor hand pressed. They are private labeled. I like the look of the Heather Austin palettes. I have no idea who she is. I felt the same way. It's 12/12, the ship date. I would assume you'd get it in like mid-November. Okay, we're learning a lot about Adept in there. So, anyway, I think what's happened, I think that the rush has passed. I also think that I have issues with sneak peeks, especially if they come too early, where it's like, ooh, the sneak peek got me like really excited. And then I even saw the palette and I was still excited. And then like by the time it came around, I like not only missed it, but I was like, I don't want it. I want it. It's very, I want my Oompa Loompa now, daddy. I say as I have a beret on my head. So I probably won't end up with it, but that's okay. I need an eyeshadow. Like I need a hole in my head. In fact, I need any kind of new makeup. Like I need a hole in my head. Although the 2 things I bought this month have been bangers. So, you know, sometimes you buy a new thing and it really works out for you. And it makes you think that you don't need it. Dupe it. Whew, I could dupe it. I could. That's a consideration for a video. Has anyone here tried Unearthly Cosmetics? Let us know. Let us know. I think the next duping I am doing is the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to go through my collection and try to find a dupe because I'm sure I can. I'm sure I can. I'm sure I wasted $34 on the Charlotte Tilbury thing that I bought. But anyway, I believe that's the end. I believe that's where yes, we did it. Claps for everyone. Is that what everyone wants? Do people want the dupe video? Okay. Well, thank you all for gossiping with me. It was really fun. The chat was popping tonight. So we're going to go back to Wednesday. It's the last Wednesday of the month, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Not that that really affects me. I'm not traveling. Let's everyone open up your calendars. Everyone open up your calendars. When's the next one? It is, okay. No, it's not. Okay. So it was weird for us to do this on the last Thursday of the month. Next month, it'll be the last Wednesday of the month. I will get that posted. So if you want to have the notification and do whatever you do, go ahead and do that. And I also want to say that on my Instagram, I finally got the countdown right for this one. It only took me 4 tries, 4 months. to get the countdown right on Instagram. But if you follow me on Instagram, I typically like start posting about it like as we get closer to the date, so that if you want to be on the live, you can be. And reminder, the homework between now and November 30th is to try 36. So you have to try speculoos spread and or Trader Joe's cookie butter. It's the same thing. If you have never tried it, you have to try it. That is your homework. Okay? Are you taking this seriously? Okay. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And remember to follow your host and you will find me. I appreciate you all. Everyone, do it with me. Threads! We're doing a short, friends, today. Bye. Bye-bye.